Hey guys, Mike here from the Music Workshop. I'm still at home on the electronic kits, but there is progress on the studio that will be coming soon. Hopefully, fingers crossed. I'll get back to that. We've just, on a personal note, given birth to our second child, so that is my excuse this week. No, but honestly, I'm right on the edge of being finished with the studio, and just the pregnancy and then the birth of our second child has kind of derailed that a little bit, and I'm not upset about that fact, because for obvious reasons I'm pretty excited and happy about the birth of my second child. And I wanted to do this lesson because I've kind of moved on from a little bit in my head to the point that I'm thinking about the next step, and it kind of shocked me into thinking I need to record this lesson. I was putting it off, and I was like, oh, you know, it'll be great, we'll do it in the studio, it'll be all professional looking and sounding, but I can't just park this idea and expect it to come across as passionately as when I'm working on it. So I'm just going to do it here. I know you guys will understand, and I mean, if there is a production improvement on the new place, that's only a good thing. So we'll do this. This is a lesson on the double paradiddle or the paradiddle, depending on what you want to call it. Now, if you've not done a lot of work on the double paradiddle, that's not a problem, because this lesson will allow you to do that. And the double paradiddle is literally a paradiddle with two paras at the start. So right, left, and then right, right. The paradiddle is being right, left, right, right. So it's got two paras at the start. Para, paradiddle, para, paradiddle, para, paradiddle, para, paradiddle. So work on that and just get comfortable with that. Do it along to a click. Pa, 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 pa. And do that on the pad until you're comfortable with it. Now, don't stick on just the one pad. Once you've got the pattern down, I want you to immediately move to two voices. So I want you to have one hand on one pad and one hand on the other. So if you've only got the one pad, like this one right here, stick your right hand on the edge and just go. And you can hear straight away that it doesn't just sound like straight singles anymore. It sounds like a pattern, that it's an audible pattern, that when it goes wrong, you hear it. So let me just give you a demonstration here of it going wrong and not hearing it. So I just started playing singles there after playing one double paradiddle, and the audible difference is tiny. It's absolutely tiny. Whereas if I do the exact same thing here, it's immediately obvious. Like, it just stands out like a big flashlight has just been shone on the problem. And that's what you want to do. You want to highlight your problems as quickly as possible. The quicker you notice the issues, the quicker they'll go away. So those two voices, as I call it, those two different sounds, are really going to help with that practice. Para, paradiddle, para, paradiddle. As you're playing your double paradiddle, you'll notice that it doesn't have 4 hits in each beat anymore. Like, paradiddles were 1E and 2E, 3E and 4E. But double paradiddles have 6 hits, because you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and all those 6 hits are in one. So it's not semiquavers anymore, because there's only 4 semiquavers in a beat. So we've got 6 in a beat. That's going to make it triplet semiquavers. And the way I count triplet semiquavers is 1 and a, 1 and a. So if I was counting out loud while playing my double paradiddles, it would be 1 and a, 1 and a, 2 and a, 2 and a, 3 and a, 3 and a, 4 and a, 4 and a, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and a, 1 and a, 2 and a, 2 and a, 3 and a, 3 and a. You can hear I'm popping a bit of an accent on the 1, 2, 3, 4. So when I stop counting, you can still hear where they are. Okay, so this might be your first time looking at triplets at all, and jumping straight into semiquavers is probably a bad idea, so go back to some earlier lessons and have a look at triplets and work on those. But if you're comfortable enough with triplets and you've done triplet semiquavers before, this it's just a footnote. For someone who hasn't looked at triplets before, this can be a bit of a mental wall for you. You're like looking at it and it's like, it doesn't make sense. Triplets are as complicated as you like. If you spend time on them, they seem easy. If you don't spend time on them, they can be quite confusing. So if you're in that kind of confused camp, just go back and work on triplets. Park this lesson for a second, go work on triplets for a week or two, and then come back to it. So, triplet semiquavers. 1 and a 1 and a 2 and a 2 and a 3 and a 3 and a 4 and a 4 and a... Now, what we're going to do is we're going to take this exercise and we're going to place a rock beat in between it. Okay, so this might seem like an easy step because you know the rock beat really well, but it's not, because two things are happening. You're jumping between quavers and triplet semiquavers, because the rock beat's going to be 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and a 1 and a 2 and a 2 and a 3 and a 3 and a 4 and a 4 and a... There's a big speed difference between quavers and triplet semiquavers. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and a 1 and a 2 and a 2 and a 3 and a 3 and a 4 and a 4 and a... Okay, so another problem, that's just the first problem that we just talked about. The second problem is that the rock beat's really slow. And a lot of drummers, the rock beat, it's just comfortable. But you're going to be comfortable at a faster speed than that. You won't have practiced it so much at that slow speed. And all that time and space in between all those beats can feel like it's vacuumous, that there's way too much space there, and you'll force yourself to speed up. That shows that you don't have a lot of depth in your groove. So if that's something that you're noticing in your play, that your rock beat's faster and you're finding it hard to stay in time and your metronome is going out of time with you, your metronome doesn't speed up and slow down, it's you that goes out of time. So don't blame the metronome. Metronomes are terrible for pointing out your problems. It's kind of like having a guy sitting beside you while you're trying to work and going, you made a mistake there, you made a mistake there, you made a mistake there. Like, eventually you just want to like knock the guy out. So the metronome is just, it's that guy that points out all your problems, and you don't want the problems to be pointed out. You want to just get through it. You value playing it over playing it perfectly. The metronome doesn't. It wants it perfect or not at all. It's very black and white that way. So if you're having trouble with your timing on your rock beat, it's because you need to spend a little bit more time at that slower tempo. So don't be alarmed if that happens, that's pretty normal. So right now we're at, I don't know what stage, but we're going to do rock beat, groove, one bar of each. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Very good. Now, if you've got to that level and you're very comfortable with it, the next step I want you to undertake is to, what's the word? You want to voice it in different places. So you want to move around the kit until you find an orchestration that suits you. So I've chosen floor tom and snare drum for you. I don't want you to stick on that. I want you to try different things. So move around the kit, like... So with that different orchestration that you're going to move around, you're going to find different sounds sound great. And even though technically what you're playing is correct and it's the right pattern, some of them sound terrible. For example, that moving around all the toms. Technically correct, but I think it sounds way too busy, and it's not. It doesn't groove at all. Like if you're trying to play rock beat and move into that. Maybe some people will be into that, but I don't know. So, you have to come up with this bit yourself. This is the creation or the art part of drumming that you make up your own. And a couple of ideas is half staying in the groove, which I don't know if it's a real thing or if it's something I made up, but a groove is very, very easily defined as kind of like a pattern that repeats itself, usually using hats. And a fill is usually easily defined as you get away from that position and you go, and it ends with some kind of cymbal. It's using toms, but there's a sound difference. And it doesn't matter whether you're a drummer or you're a non-drummer, you can tell that there's a different thing happening there. So, semi in the groove is doing a fill but not leaving this position. So we have been playing the double paradiddle, but we're going to stay in the groove position. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so we're doing a full bar fill. Let's try a 2B fill, so 3 and 4. So we're going 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's not that much of an occasion anymore, but it's beautiful. This is the inventing of drumming. You're taking something easy, like a double paradiddle on a pad, and you're growing it into something else. Okay, so what I personally settled on was doing this groove on between the ride and the snare and the bass drum, because it still has a groove feel to it, but it's definitely taking ears from fills as well, where you've got the busyness of the double paradiddle and triplet semiquavers. It's just a beautiful combination of strokes, and if you pop an accent on the 2 and the 4 on that snare, it's going to sound really great. This is just double paradiddles. This is not magic. This is working on something simple until it becomes something that sounds complicated. And when you explain it step by step, it doesn't seem all that hard. But if I just look at the start of this lesson where there's a play intro, it's like, that's pretty cool. I wonder how we get there. Well, I mean, this step by step is how I got there. So I'm going to stop because I can just see myself repeating myself on this lesson, and I don't want it to be like so long that you won't watch. So I'm going to stop right now. Thanks for watching if you got this far, and thanks for being patient, I suppose, with the lack of content, because quite honestly there's been nothing over the last couple of months. If you have any questions, pop them in the comment section down below. I love getting comments. I don't love getting negative comments, so if you've got something constructive to say, by all means. If you've got something negative to say, just go away. You're not welcome here. This is not a channel that I put out there for negative people to come and hate on. This is free content that I put out there, and I put an awful lot of effort into it to make it happen. So thanks for watching, guys. If you have any suggestions for stuff to cover in the future, let me know. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next video.